Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Scorpio energy, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will, and some people harness high vibe Scorpio energy, some people harness more shadowy Scorpio energy, some people harness a more worldly focused Scorpio energy. And like usual, we're going to do 2 rows. This time we're using the Tea Leaf Oracle deck, and we're going to get some tarot on it to fill out the story. And it could be just a battle within yourself or within some people, you know, because it's hard when we've got to make these big decisions in our life. Do we keep doing what we've been doing? Are we ready to move forward differently? And then there's going to be some people who are definitely on the high vibe path because they've seen some truths, learned some lessons, and they just can't live their life the way they've been living it. And they're going to move forward in life differently. And then there's going to be some people who have definitely decided they're not doing love and they're not going to see the truth and they don't want to see life any differently maybe. And they're still maybe just caught up in the illusion of the world, thinking if they make their life about money or materialism or indulgence or keep their emotions buried, that that's the right way to go about things. And they're most likely going to keep doing that. So just listen to your intuition, whether you're a Scorpio sun sign or cross-watching for one, it doesn't really matter. We all tap into Scorpio energy, and just listen to your intuition about how you harness your Scorpio energy, how other people harness theirs, and see where people are in the story. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see the cards. Okay, we have Teapot, deep friendship with someone of the same sex. But the way I sometimes read that, you know, if you want to connect in with people who are on the same vibe as you in Scorpio energy, and that would mean in an emotional way, and we take action in masculine energy and our emotional state is different, you know. We take action in masculine energy. We can present ourselves anyway to the world, but the truth is about who we really are internally. So I kind of interpret that as wanting to be with someone emotionally who's on the same page with you, someone who's aligned with their emotions and their intuition, not just operating from their ego nature. Then we have October, which October is Libra and Scorpio energy. The Torch card, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. The Arrow, it's kind of like seeing the light with the Torch card. So maybe it's saying that, you know, in October, and it shows the falling leaves, people are starting to see that seasons are over and that things have come to a conclusion, and that maybe, I don't know, what they have been investing in isn't, I don't know, seeing some type of light. Then we have the Arrow in reverse. You are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. Some people could see the light that the way they've been moving forward in their life is not the right way. Okay, the Feather card. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. Jug. Lighthearted, carefree time. You know, and that's kind of turned sideways as if it's going to turn upside down. That some people realizing that maybe what the people that some people could have been moving forward with could be realizing that their long-term goals and what they think is just and fair is different than your long-term goals and what you think is just and fair. And it's like seeing the light that this isn't the right path, and realizing that someone we've been dealing with is undependable and insincere, and kind of realizing that maybe the carefree times are coming to an end. And Gong, an exciting event. And the reason for the reading is the Bridge card, successfully overcoming a problem. So that would be turning in the upright position. And some of you have kind of already, you know, it depends on where you are in the story. Some of you have gone through this and you're ready to cross the bridge to go to the next phase of life. There might be some other people who are going to join you just other people in the world that have been on their own journeys. It doesn't even have to be people you know. But it could be some of the people in your life, between adult children or siblings or parents or friends. But let's get a little tarot story here. Tell us about the teapot and October. A deep friendship with someone of the same sex, which for some of you that could be, but it could be just someone who you think is on the same page as you. The Three of Swords and the King of Pentacles, and the reason is because of the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords talks about moving forward with someone, and maybe moving forward with someone who you believe is on the same page as you, that you are a marriage partner to, want to be a marriage partner to, moving forward in a work relationship with. Everybody at least is thinking that it's everybody thinks everybody is harnessing high vibe Libra, high vibe Capricorn, high vibe Aquarius, which Aquarius energy is having a dream and thinking that, we have someone we think we can move forward with to bring that dream into reality. Tell us about the torch and the arrow in reverse. Spiritual developments, enlightened awareness and understanding that you are not heading in the right direction. Okay. Drop the card. Okay. Oops. The Queen of Wands. And the reason that came out is because of the Page of Pentacles. Someone could be realizing that the person they're moving forward with or wanting to move forward with harnesses shadowy Leo energy, might be kind of immature, might be more aligned with their more worldly motivated nature, and might be manipulating people to get them to move forward with them, maybe more because of ego or image or status or money or materialism. Someone is undependable and insincere. Kind of the end of a lighthearted, carefree time. The Four of Wands and the Nine of Wands because of the Three of Cups. So someone has been working together with someone in a foundation, and they're defensive, maybe because they feel like they're being manipulated, feeling like someone is using their emotions manipulatively. For some, they were moving forward in a relationship, maybe because they were defensive, maybe because they were heartbroken. And now they could have an offer from someone who has seen some truth in life and has offered them a new beginning and offered them the resources to look at life from a higher perspective, to have some hope and faith and belief in themselves. Don't move forward with people in your life and keep staying in relationship with people that you might have gotten in a relationship with because of pain and heartbreak, because, I don't know, you wanted to feel better at the time and you were defensive. If you're moving forward in a relationship for the wrong reasons, realizing that maybe people are wanting to stay in a relationship with you for the wrong reasons, people's own intuition and their own inner child nature could be saying, don't move forward that way. Make sure if you're moving forward that you're moving forward not because of pride and ego and indulgence, because it won't turn out the way you want. Keep listening to your intuition. Keep investing in knowing your worth, and value, and having good boundaries within yourself. Then we have the Gong, an exciting event. Okay, we had a card not showing itself, and the reason it came out is because of the Emperor energy. The King of Swords. An exciting event. Well, if some people were moving forward in something, kind of living more from their mind than their heart, I was heartbroken, I should be more logical and practical. Maybe I should move forward in this job or this relationship because stability, security. I want to be in a relationship. But then if people start to realize, wait a minute, the people I'm moving forward with are undependable and insincere, we can move forward in relationships for quite a while. It can be for everybody thinks it's the truth. Everybody has the dream. But then, we can get to a point in relationships where it kind of comes to a stopping point because it's getting to a place where people, at what point are we going to move forward with people in life where, we're facing fears, we're facing insecurities, we're, living life, and then someone becomes defensive. It kind of requires them to quit living more from their mind than their heart. Kind of like being strategic, which being strategic can be someone who was maybe using their emotions manipulatively, and it could have been more about them indulging themselves in a way in a relationship. And then it gets to be like, wait a minute. What is the truth? Did I get in this relationship with the King of Swords because I was living more from my mind than my heart? Was the person I was in relationship with living more from their mind than their heart? Was I not seeing the truth? Is someone emotionally manipulating me? Do I need to have better boundaries within myself? If I want a relationship based on love, is this love? And the Emperor energy is about, I'm not going to let my mind run my life. If I don't want to be in a relationship just because it's practical and logical, and I won't get hurt in this relationship because either they're indulging me or I'm indulging them or I'm just emotionally manipulating them for money or stability or sex. If that's not how I want to live my life, and I don't want to give up on my dreams and let my mind and my ego and my more worldly nature run my life, if I really want to have my dreams come into reality, I got to quit rejecting the truth. Sometimes, the Three of Swords comes after the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords can be where people are feeling stuck. They might want to be in a relationship, and someone came along and said, hey, you want to be in a relationship? And they were like, yeah, I do. And maybe it seemed all practical and reasonable at the time, but maybe as time goes by, people kind of realize that maybe I made that decision because I wasn't taking all aspects of myself into account. Because the Emperor in high vibe is someone who's learned lessons in all the various suits of the deck. I've learned lessons just letting my emotions run my life, and that can run my life off into the ditch. If I make my heart or my emotions give them too much precedent in my life, that the other aspects of my life, like my job and my work and my stability and my creativity or my truth, gets thrown out the window because it's all about, oh my gosh, I'm in my emotions, and then I maybe don't want to be in my emotions, so I decide to get out of my emotions and just live from my mind and think that's the more practical thing to do. And then we learn lessons letting our mind run our life and kind of maybe being a little bit more emotionally detached and thinking that's the best way to do it. And then we kind of end up finding our life in the ditch. The whole thing is to make decisions where we take all aspects of ourselves into consideration. I want balance, body, mind, spiritually, emotionally. One thing could be good financially, but is that good for the rest of me? My emotional nature, my creative nature, my passionate nature. I could do things that would be really good, seem to be really good indulgent-wise, emotionally or sexually, but how does that affect the rest of my life? And in high vibe Emperor is that I want to make good decisions in my life. And for some of you, you could have moved forward with someone. You could have been in a relationship or a marriage and you thought your dreams were going to come into reality. Some of you could have been in a relationship with a Virgo or a Libra, an Aquarius, a Capricorn, or just someone who you thought would be just and fair, that stable, grounded, all those things, and then you realize that you'd kind of invested in someone who harnesses shadowy Leo energy, maybe gets in relationships because it's good for their ego and their image and their status, or they have someone to have sex with, and you kind of realize that you're maybe in a relationship with someone who it wasn't because of love. Could have been because they were heartbroken. It could have been because they're immature. Could be because they're codependent, or they were hoping you'd be codependent, and they could be like a parental figure to you, and you'd look up to and admire them, and then they could be the boss or something, and you just realized, we get drawn and attracted to people because we have lessons to learn from them. And maybe some of those lessons was to learn to nurture our own inner child nature, because the Leo sun in high vibe is, I need to learn to love myself. I don't control anybody else in the world. If there's one person in the world every day that should treat me with love and compassion, encouragement, like a parent would, being your own best mother, father, coach voice in your head, I need to do that. Because if I don't learn to do that, I could get in relationships with people because I'm heartbroken, because I haven't learned to love myself. This looks stable and grounded and looks by worldly standards it be victorious. But then sometimes we get in relationships with people and we kind of give them that power. And then sometimes power corrupts, and people like that you're heartbroken. People like that you want to be in a relationship with them for a sense of stability and security. And then they kind of abuse that position in your life. They know that you could look up to and admire them, that you could, like everything that you're building. But if they start to abuse the power that they have in that relationship, and maybe they have more power or influence or status or wealth, that they can kind of abuse that. And then, because they're not our parent, they maybe really have some of their best interests at heart versus our best interests. And maybe the whole point of it was for us to learn to really love ourselves, so we get out of looking to other people to be the answer that we need in our life for our sense of stability or security or love. It's supposed to start within ourselves, and to learn to love ourselves and come together in our own foundation, from a foundation of love, to love ourselves, be inspired within ourselves, and have good boundaries within ourselves. I'm not going to indulge in my more fearful, insecure, codependent energy. I'm not going to give other people and look to other people for my stability or security or to validate my worth and value. I have to validate my worth and value. And when we do that, we're no longer living more from our mind than our heart. And we've become a really good leader in our own life. And if we did have someone in our life who maybe thought they were the boss and that they kind of were who we looked to for everything that we needed, because the Leo energy is also represented by the sun energy, which is life-giving energy. Kind of like, I look to you for making me feel safe, making me feel loved, but then if they abuse that power and they do things that are kind of hurtful or unkind or immature or manipulative, we realize, I need to put boundaries up against this person, because they could realize that, you could be a loving, nurturing person and you put in a lot of work and effort maybe to make a relationship work, but then they abuse their position of influence in your life to use the love that you have for them against you to manipulate you. And that's not love. That's not just. That's not fair. And so then we realize, we see the truth that the Three of Swords is Libra energy. The King of Swords is Libra energy. You don't have to be dealing with a Libra sun sign. It's just someone who you thought would be just and fair and nurturing and supportive and loving and warm and, someone who you thought looked at life from a higher perspective, but then you could have seen the truth that they could have been more either worldly motivated, money motivated, ego motivated, kind of maybe over time, if not initially, or you just didn't realize it initially. Could have been someone who likes being in that position of having people, look to them for everything, because Aquarius energy is represented by the Star card, and then people can kind of get used to people looking to them and deferring to them, and it kind of gets to be where, well, I think I'm entitled to this, and I think everybody here should put aside their pride and ego, but never me. And you could have tried to offer love and encouragement to get them to move forward with you. And if some of you are in relationships where both of you were heartbroken, both of you were being emotionally mature and loving and nurturing and respecting, that you're dealing with people's authentic, vulnerable nature, and you should respect that. And everybody has good boundaries to operate from a foundation of love and making good decisions, then the relationship moves forward. That's how a good relationship should move forward. But if some people weren't in a relationship where people are operating from a foundation of love, and one person was defensive to operating from a foundation of love because they kind of like to be the boss and they don't like to be just and fair, then some people are getting out of those relationships, or some people did already. So tell us about the Bridge card, successfully overcoming a problem. Yeah, some people are realizing, the high vibe people that are in high vibe relationships, you're listening to, everybody's listening to their intuition. Everybody has that hopeful, believing nature. Everybody's working together cooperatively. Everybody has good boundaries. Everybody is crossing the bridge to make good decisions. But some people are finding out that they didn't realize that they invested in someone who was emotionally manipulating them, who really doesn't have their best interests at heart, might be trying to manipulate them, tempt them with money or materialism, try to appeal to their ego or their sexual nature to try to manipulate them and control them, not wanting them to see the truth. And some of those people, what the people in their life don't realize is they have seen the truth. They did this work within themselves to look at life from a higher perspective, to grow and mature themselves, to love themselves, to be inspired to stand up for themselves. And some of those are making the decision, I'm not staying in this relationship anymore. The Virgo Hermit, the Ten of Wands, the King of Cups, because of the Two of Wands. For the people that are in like a mismatched relationship, those people have been doing this inner work. That's what Virgo energy talks about. Unbeknownst to other people, they've been doing this work to gain insight and wisdom about the past. Why did I get in this relationship? Why did they get in this relationship? Do I think they could have some of these shadowy characteristics? Do I think they're in the relationship with me for the right reasons? Have I been in the relationship for the right reasons? I have a dream in the Two of Wands, Aries energy. And some of those people have been doing this work and they've been giving it everything they've got to make a decision in truth and love. And the Ten of Wands is Sagittarius energy, which is about higher learning and education. And to see that Virgo goes in to see the truth, taking that action to listen to our heart and our intuition to guide us. Not our fear, not our insecurity, not our pride, not our ego, not our lust, not our greed, not our immature, lazy nature. But to take an action based on truth and love, if that's, the dream that we have, is to take action in truth and love. And some people are realizing either they weren't, either didn't get in, they or the person they're with didn't get in the relationship for the right reasons, or they kind of realized over time, because that's what usually happens. You get in a relationship with people, you kind of have similar woundings and have similar backgrounds, and, you know, it could all work out except for depending on how people choose to handle things. What do people do when they have mental conflict? The Six of Swords moves away from the Five of Swords. What do we do when we have mental conflict? What do we do when we feel stuck or when we're hurt? Do we take action in truth and love to go within, to gain insight and wisdom, to love ourselves, come from a place of love, to grow and mature ourselves, to make a take mature loving action, and then being bold and brave enough to offer, you know, any insight and understanding that we've gained to the people that we're in relationship with, that we want to keep moving forward with. And how do they act when they feel that way? And how do they act when we try to, you know, keep moving forward with them in a loving way? Are they defensive? And that's sometimes when we see the differences within us, you know, that we might seem a lot alike, where it seems like we should be able to work together and have a dream come into reality. But if the other person, when they have mental conflict or they're hurt, instead of taking action to go within to deal with that and understand why they have mental conflict, why is their past pain and heartbreak or fears or insecurities bubbling up, instead they go take action more out of their emotionally defensive or egoic nature. Maybe I'm going to go indulge in the world. I want to feel better now, and instead of dealing with my issues, you know, I'm going to indulge in the world or in my ego or in my image, and I might try to emotionally manipulate people to get what I want because I'm kind of immature. It takes work and effort in the Virgo energy to go within, you know, to deal with your emotions and your emotional confusion, which, you know, can be our Scorpio energy. And some people are like, nope, I have a better idea. I'm going to invest in being in my ego or defensive or stubborn or bossy or controlling or manipulative and being defensive. I want the people that I'm in a relationship with to do the relationship the way I want. And I don't want to have to make good decisions for everyone involved. I like it being done the way I want it. And I might hide that I'm overwhelmed about love. Because, you know, people can have their own ideas of how they always imagined life to be and relationships to be. And some people's dream relationship was to hide that they're overwhelmed and that they wear a false mask. I present myself as loving to you and the people in the world, like I'm a loving family person, but really I'm kind of more about myself, and I'm kind of immature, and I kind of use my things of the world and my looks and my skill, my money and my sexuality and all those things to try to get people to do what I want in a relationship. Because otherwise I'd have to put in work and effort, and that seems overwhelming. And I'd really rather not do love. I'd rather not connect in with my emotions and my intuition. I had my own idea of what I thought a relationship was going to be like. And that's when we see the truth that, wow, we're on different pages about how we handle things. And some people are just now seeing the truth. Some of you already saw the truth. Some of you have been sitting over here, putting in work and effort, listening to your intuition, hoping other people in your life, if that's adult children or siblings or friends or people you'd like to be in a relationship with, hoping they would see the truth too. You know, don't stay in relationships with people who are manipulating you. Don't let your worldly nature and your, I don't know, basically don't let your shadow nature get in the driver's seat of your life. Keep listening to your intuition and love to drive your life and the decisions you make in your life. Because otherwise it's maybe not going to turn out the way you think. And I'm moving on with or without you. So I wish you peace, but I'm not going to have people in my life who are trying to emotionally manipulate me and hoping that I'm defensive to loving and believing in myself, and that I'll settle for being in a relationship with them if they're emotionally manipulating me. No. You go emotionally manipulate someone else. I'll see you at Christmas. I'm moving on. So, and there might be some people who are leaving a relationship where they've seen the truth. They're doing this work to love and believe in themselves and listen to their intuition. And some of those people, some of you could have made offers to other people. Other people might be coming to make you offers. As you move forward, you're going to meet other people. And whoever is having to make decisions in life, which we're kind of all having to make decisions at different times in our life, is that to remember that we live in a dualistic world, just like we have our dualistic nature, our more worldly self nature, and our more enlightened, loving, just and fair and balanced nature. We want to make sure that anybody we could have communicated with is having good boundaries because they want to make a good decision and they don't want to let someone into their life who might be trying to manipulate them. Been there, done that. And if anybody's making you an offer or people you meet as you move forward, you're also going to have good boundaries. I make good decisions in my life. People aren't going to tempt me to live more from my, passionate nature, loving nature, more from my mind than my heart. This this would be a good opportunity financially or whatever. I want to make a decision and be in a relationship with other people who have good boundaries within themselves, and people who are trying to manipulate me or control me. That's not someone I want to be in a relationship with. And some people right now could have people in their life who've learned a lot of lessons in life, who are trying to encourage them and offer them the resources to love and believe in themselves. Other people are trying to use their resources of the world to tempt them to keep staying in relationship with them and not grow to their full potential. Don't listen to your intuition. Don't put in the work and effort to see the truth. Because if you see the truth sets you free. And if I don't want to see the truth and live my life differently, then you won't indulge me in a relationship anymore. Because I'm not willing to do that. And I'm not willing to cross that bridge with you. If you're bold and brave enough to step out of your comfort zone and face your fears to live your life differently, I'm not. I want to stay back here, maybe live more from my mind than my heart, maybe make my life more about money and materialism and status and ego and image. And I want you to indulge me in a relationship, but it's more because I'm defensive and I'm enslaved and imprisoned to these things in my life and other people in my life, or my fear or my defensive nature. And I want you to keep staying in a relationship with me and not become all that you can be. And I don't want you to heal, and I don't want you to believe in yourself. I don't want you to move forward with other loving people in the world. I want you to keep indulging me. And other people are saying, keep loving and believing in yourself. Be all that you can be. And some of the people are looking back to look at the different people in their life. Who were the people who did encourage me to be all I could be? Who didn't try to manipulate and control me? Who did speak the truth, and who tries to manipulate the truth? And some of those people are seeing the truth, and they want to go towards the people who are loving and encouraging, and not the people who wear a false mask. Oh, I love you, but I'm trying to manipulate and control you for my own, I like to feel power over you. Because sometimes the people trying to manipulate us isn't like a love interest. It can be our own family members or friend group. I live my life this way. I don't want you to have your dreams come into reality. I'll be jealous. You stay here. Let me control you. Let me try to instill fear and insecurity. Try to make you defensive to the loving people in your life. And our own shadow nature does that to us. And that's us letting our mind control our life. Oh, you shouldn't move forward with those people. Those people might try to manipulate you. Those people might hurt you. How about listen to your intuition? Are they loving? Are they just? Are they warm? Are they nurturing and encouraging and supportive? There are no guarantees in life, but we have this one life. Are we willing to trust our intuition and go with the flow and see what happens? Or are we going to let our more fearful nature run our life And when we let our more fearful nature run our life, or our more lustful, or our more greedy, or our more immature nature, there's a whole bunch of people in the world who will be happy that we did that. And then they kind of represent that shadowy aspect of ourself in a real live human being who parrots back all the things that we feel, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. And it keeps us imprisoned. So some people have been around people like that. Some people are just realizing they're around people like that, and they're moving on, and they want to work with the other loving people in the world who are bold and brave enough to have new beginnings in life, face their fears, do things differently than the way they've always done it. Okay, let's go down here to the bottom row. So when we're in our shadow or in our ego, we're sure we're right. You know, we always think we're right, even if we're wrong. But we have lessons to learn in life. So in our shadow nature, or some people who are in their shadow energy, they're pretty sure they're right. They do not want to either do love, because they get hurt doing love. The thought of doing love is overwhelming. They like to hide from love. They might like to, again, try to manipulate people to get what they want. Could be more motivated by money and materialism. Could be more about it being all about them, their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed. And they're sure if they can get in a relationship where that's the way it goes, that they'll be happy. So we have Harp, great happiness. August. August is Leo and Virgo energy. So their long-term plan that some people didn't know about who got in a relationship with them, their long-term plan is to live more from their mind than their heart, and their long-term goal is to have status and image and money and materialism, and maybe where people indulge them in a relationship. That's their truth. And then we have Scissors in reverse, disappointment in some affair. They're sure they will not be disappointed in the way that they're living their life. Door, opportunities are waiting for you. And Mice, discord among friends or family. So, you know, whenever we choose thinking, I know best, I'm going to go do this, even though our intuition could say, I don't think you should do that. I think this is a bad idea. I think we've went out with people like that before. I don't think this is going to end well. You know, we're sure that there are opportunities waiting for us on the other side. If we do life the way we want, we're sure everything's going to work out. The only thing is the mice are on the other side. And the mice can be those things that eat away at your foundation. For one, if we know we didn't act with character and integrity, if we know we're not being just and fair, if we know we're kind of haven't learned to love ourselves, I think all those things will gnaw away at us. And the reason for the reading is the fire, strong emotion, passionate love or hate. And, you know, the truth, and like a sword, gets sharpened by going over fire and getting pounded and hammered out. And I think some people, and of course our shadow nature is represented by the devil, meaning we could have realized something was wrong, that we shouldn't be touching that or going in that direction, but we wanted what we wanted and we went that way anyway, and we're probably going to learn some hard lessons. So let's go see what it is. Tell us about the great happiness and August operating from Leo Virgo energy. So it is kind of interesting. You know, we have a lot of fire energy over here. The Queen of Wands, Four of Wands, Nine of Wands, Aries, Eight of Wands, Two of Wands. We have all the fire sign elements represented there. Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. This could be some people, which we all have to go out on these journeys in life to learn these lessons. But some people right now, in their Scorpio energy, are maybe learning some lessons about not letting their fiery nature get the best of them, which can be I want to be in control, or it's all about me and my wants and needs, or letting their, like, the things that they're motivated and inspired by, if that's lust or greed or whatever, kind of get control of their life, and they have to learn some difficult lessons to know what's too much, you know? So tell us about the Harp and August. The Fool, they're going on a new journey to learn some lessons in life because they have a dream with the Star card. So Aries energy and Aquarius energy, they are sure that the way they are going to go about living their life is going to make their dreams come into reality. Tell us about the Scissors in reverse. The Knight of Cups, because of the Death card. Well, you know, we can all be heartbroken. This card, you know, probably, you know, people either deal with their disappointment or they don't. Some people see the truth, they grow and mature themselves, whatever they need to grow and mature in themselves, and seeing the truth about other people that they've dealt with, to be bold and brave, to not give up on their dreams. But some people thought, I know how to get rid of my disappointment. I'm maybe going to go get in another relationship because that other relationship ended. And they think they're headed towards the door of opportunity. The only thing is, also in shadowy energy, because there might be something we don't want to see the truth of, either about ourselves or the world, we cannot see things clearly. Our judgment gets clouded, either because of our not wanting to see the truth and don't want to have to put in the work to love ourselves. I'm sure the answer is just to get in a different relationship. That'll make me feel better. Or go indulge in things of the world. I'm sure that'll make me feel better. You know, whatever it is. And they are sure that this is the answer until they go through these life experiences to realize, you know, that can really bite you in the butt. And some of you have already learned those lessons, and you might know some people who haven't learned those lessons yet. So what is this door of opportunity? The Seven of Cups, Scorpio energy. I am sure I have other options out there in the world that I can go get in a relationship with. The Queen of Wands, have a brand new beginning. The only thing is, you know, we're either aligned with our high vibe Leo energy of hope and faith and belief and love, or we're kind of operating out of our shadowy Leo energy and maybe taking action out of pride or ego or fear or insecurity or not wanting to grow up and living in fantasy land. Again, and then the Queen of Wands can represent like the other man, other woman. Just not seeing that when we indulge in our more emotionally defensive or immature indulgent nature, it's not going to end well. We're probably going to hang out with other people that are that way, who have some growing up and maturing to do, and it's probably not going to turn out the way we thought because the mice is there. Discord among friends and family. What's that about? The Seven of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, because of the Emperor. So that's kind of interesting, right? Because we have some mirroring going on here. But so the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Swords is both Aquarius energy. And the Queen of Pentacles, you know, stability, security. Hopefully, if people were thinking people would be emotionally nurturing and loving. The Seven of Swords in shadow can be someone who is being deceptive and manipulative. It's kind of like, come on, you see where I'm going? Come on, follow me. Yep. Don't keep moving forward with the loving people in your life. Put an end to that. You should come invest in me. Come on. We're going to go put on a show. Going up to the circus tent. Let's go put on a show because I want to look like I'm the star. So if some people had been in a relationship with loving, nurturing people where it seemed like their dreams were coming into reality. There could have been someone who wanted to put an end to that because they were in their ego about it. I don't like that these people seem like their dream is coming into reality. I know I'm going to make someone an offer to try to get them to come back and get in a relationship with me. I want my dreams to come into reality, but I'm not willing to put in the work and effort it takes to be in a loving relationship. Some people could have been in a relationship where people were putting in work and effort to be loving. This person wants like reward without effort. I have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. Can't I be bossy and controlling and manipulative or use my charm or my money or my sexuality or whatever to get what I want? Come on. Come on, don't you want to look like a shining star too? And it appealed to people's egoic nature, maybe. Maybe their lustful, prideful nature. And they created the illusion that this dream was going to come into reality. You're going to look like a boss. I maybe have money. If you come and get in a relationship with me, you'll have higher status, more money, more image, more status. But the only thing is, I'm not telling the truth. I'm trying to deceive you about the truth of why I want you to come get in a relationship with me. It might be because I want to look like the star. I want to look like I'm just like those loving people that you'd been in a relationship with, even though I'm a shadowy person. I'm prideful, egotistical, maybe obnoxious, loud, emotionally shallow, superficial. But because you were in a relationship with those loving people, then if you get in a relationship with me, it makes it look like I'm that type of person, like I'm an emotionally nurturing, loving person. So again, someone they could have went to go get in a relationship with is kind of all about themselves. And I might be creating the illusion that this is my dream and I want to be your marriage partner. But once we get in the relationship, my true nature will come out where I'm not who I said I was. And then we have the fire. Strong emotion, passionate love or hate. What is that about? The High Priestess, the Seven of Pentacles, because of the Three of Swords, or the Four of Swords. Some people were hiding, that it is more about status and image and money and materialism. Like, I want to be your marriage partner because of how you look, or the status or image you have, or the money or materialism you have. I think that's just and fair in my Libra energy. Because the Seven of Pentacles is Taurus energy, which, well, Taurus and Libra together are about wanting to be surrounded by luxury and things in life. And some people were hiding that that's why they wanted to invest in someone. Because it's good for my ego and my image and my status, and you're loving or nurturing or abundant, or you have money or whatever, and that's why I wanted to be in a relationship with you. And that's for some of you. For others of you, some people are in this mismatched relationship right now, and the person they're in a relationship is taking these foolish risks, kind of acting prideful and egotistical, and it's hurting the person they're in a relationship with. They're unwilling to change. The other person keeps trying to be loving and encouraging, and the other person keeps having this illusion that I can take these foolish risks in the relationship. I can be maybe intimidating and controlling or emotionally shallow or superficial. I don't think this person will ever leave me because either they don't love and believe in themselves, or I have these illusions about myself that nobody would ever want to leave a relationship with me. And that I can keep being deceptive and manipulative, and they'll keep wanting to be in a partnership with me because by worldly standards it looks victorious and successful. What some of those shadowy people don't know is that the people they've been in a relationship with are have been hurt. And they're starting to see the truth that, why do I stay in this relationship? Why don't I move away? This is heartbreaking. I need to look at life from a higher perspective. I need to, love myself, believe in myself. I need to get grounded and stable within myself to stand up for myself. And some of those people are listening to their intuition about what they've invested in. They've been putting in work and effort to heal a situation for everybody to move forward in hope and faith and love. And the other person just keeps putting work and effort into their own idea. It's like, yeah, there's been pain and heartbreak, and I have pain and heartbreak, but I keep taking action out of pride and ego. I think I know best. I don't think love is the answer. I'm going to keep trying to manipulate and control you. And for some of those people, this is the last time. If this person does one more thing, acting in this, keep moving forward in the way they've been moving forward in this kind of more prideful, egotistical way of being, where they're not being loving, where they present themselves as loving, but they're kind of emotionally shallow and superficial. It's like trying to create the illusion that it's love so that people will keep moving forward with them to either stay in a relationship with them, make them a marriage partner. But their whole reason for wanting to do it is more driven by ego and status and image. It's not based on love. But they are trying to get the person they're in a relationship with to stop loving and believing in themselves. They're manipulating them to do things hurtful and unkind to make them be defensive. But this person maybe hasn't been speaking their truth. Maybe they didn't see the truth initially, but they've started to do the work within themselves to love themselves enough to speak their truth. And that could have been the whole reason they were drawn and attracted to this person, is that the divine knew this was someone who they could have really thought a dream would come into reality. Again, because they have similar backgrounds or similar wounding. And, it seems like everything is set up right. The only thing is that underlying foundation. One person can have hope and faith and belief and love, and the other person not so much, and they don't really want to do love. They get hurt doing that. And they maybe really don't want to be just and fair, and they really don't want to let their more emotionally vulnerable nature out to play in the world. And it is more of living more from their mind than their heart. And some of those people are realizing this isn't just and fair with the King of Swords in reverse. This isn't just and fair because the King of Swords is Libra energy, represented by the scales of justice. This isn't just and fair. And I listened to my intuition, and I invested time, energy, and effort into healing myself, because it starts within us. Then we try to encourage the people we're in a relationship with to heal. And if they keep refusing to heal, we can't be in our ego about it. We got to see the truth. People have free will. And if they're more motivated and inspired not to heal, wanting to make their life about the things of the world or indulgence or being bossy and controlling or all about themselves, we have to see the truth and not give up on our dreams and go to work with the people in our life who we do think operate from a foundation of love, who do have good boundaries within themselves, who do make good decisions in life, are self-aware, are motivated and inspired by love, because those are the people we can have our dreams come into reality with. And odds are the people who rely on money or looks or sexuality or being full of themselves or being bossy or controlling and manipulative, odds are those people are going to keep being that way. And those people are sure they're going to be happy regardless. Oh, that person left. And if they don't really authentically invest in love, it's kind of more indulging themselves emotionally in a relationship. They don't really invest in people emotionally. It's just kind of like you were someone they had sex with, and they're just going to go find someone else who is confused about the truth of who they are. who might want their dreams to come into reality and to be in a relationship. And this person's like, perfect. Let me create a confusion about why those last relationships didn't work out and tell you that I am ready to be a loving, nurturing partner. I make good decisions in relationships. And I'm going to hide that the whole reason I got in this relationship is more because I need to heal. But I think if I have more money and status and image, that's what will heal me, and I don't actually do the work within myself to heal. Tell us what's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Scorpio energy that they might not see coming. The Five of Pentacles, because of the Page of Swords. Well, it does take time to detach from foundations that we were involved in. And, Scorpio is about our deep emotional attachments that we have with people. And it can take time, even when we distance ourselves from people. And we need to do this work within ourselves to heal from that and love ourselves and believe in ourselves so we can let go of our more emotionally defensive nature, because we have connected in with ourselves and we now know that we can trust our intuition. For some of you, it's just that you're moving away from people that you view as kind of immature in their thinking, logic, and reasoning, and you want to move forward with other people who have that hopeful, believing nature. Harnessing high vibe, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, people aligned with love and hope and faith and belief and in being just and fair, and walking away from the people who harness those energies in a shadowy way, who are more aligned with their more worldly nature, and they think it's just and fair to make their life either about being indulged or indulging, or about money and materialism, all about ego. And there might be someone who detaches from a foundation, who communicates with you that they want to move forward with you. And hopefully you have a lot of people in your life, who say they're detaching from a more worldly view of life to be more inspired to believe in themselves and believe in their dreams and make their life more than about money and materialism and what they wear, and tap into their more creative, inspired nature and expand their view of life to think about all the things that maybe they'd like to do, and start putting work and effort into working with their own unique talent, skills, and interest. The Five of Pentacles is also Taurus energy, and Taurus energy, it could be someone who previously, because the Five of Pentacles comes after the Four of Pentacles, it could have been someone who was previously kind of caught up in the world, living more from their mind than their heart, but now either you or other things in their life could have inspired them to invest in detaching from making the world so important, or their ego or their image or money, and realizing it's about listening to your intuition, because then you can really come together with others from a foundation of love. Otherwise, you might be in a relationship maybe more because of the ego or the image. What do the people who harness some shadowy Scorpio energy not see coming? The Leo Strength card and the Lovers card, because of the Six of Cups. Well, for some of the people who have been shadowy in relationships, some of the people of their past who didn't get all caught up in their ego about these people and staying heartbroken and giving up on their dreams and just going indulging in the world to feel better. Some of the people in their life loved and believed in themselves enough to temper their ego and keep believing in love. And those people are going to get in new relationships because they maintained balance within themselves in their Scorpio energy, to not give up on their dreams, to not act out of ego and impulsiveness or recklessness or indulgence. And other people want to be in a relationship with them because of that, because they see that they're like a grown a matured person who's making good decisions in their life. And they maybe didn't see that coming because they always kind of act out of ego and competitiveness and jealousy and envy and pettiness for some of them. And they thought for sure you would maybe do the same thing because that's how they always do things. And you're like, no, I'm going to maintain my balance and stand up for what I believe in and wrap my brain around this game of life, take the lesson I learned to learn, not be as naive and gullible and realize there's people like you in the world. And I'm going to have good boundaries against people like that because I don't like being manipulated. And I'm going to make really good decisions in my life. And because I make good decisions in my life and I don't act in shadowy ways, other people want to be in a relationship with me. The other thing they might not see coming is that there might be some people who kind of do operate from their pride and ego who do want to be in a relationship with this person and get in a love relationship with them. The only thing is, if they're both in shadow energy, they both have these patterns and ways of working together in a relationship, and they want to both repeat their own way of being in a relationship because they're not letting love and intuition to guide them. It's kind of like, nope, we got to do it this way. This is the way I'm used to being in a relationship. I do this, you do that. They both might be kind of prideful, egotistical, want to be the center of attention, and they're going to repeat a pattern of the past. And when we keep repeating a pattern over and over and over, it's kind of like, why does this keep happening? Why do I get in a relationship that I think is going to be great? I have these illusions that it's going to be like wonderful. And then I find out that, I don't know, the person who I thought would be loving and passionate and warm might be emotionally cold and detached and materialistic or bossy and controlling. Well, that's if they do get in a relationship with someone who's like themselves. And then they're going to see what it's like to be in a relationship with someone like themselves. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, is this how I acted in a relationship? Yes, that is how you acted in a relationship. How do you like being in a relationship with you? For others, if a loving person, a strong loving person comes into their life, it's like, oh shit, another loving person. Fuck. Do I want to wear my false mask again and try to manipulate and control them into giving up in their dreams and making their life all about me? The same thing might happen. They might love and believe in themselves enough that eventually they see through the illusion and they leave. Maybe I should just let them go and go find someone who I think wants to repeat this way of living life like I like to live life. And then maybe it'll work out okay. But the only problem is, then we have two people who are being deceptive and manipulative. Two people who might be kind of prideful, egotistical, bossy, controlling, like things their way, defensive to being loving. But they could stay in the relationship and just hide the fact that it's because of the money and the status and the image, because other people saw the truth of who they were and they need to be in a relationship with someone who's like themselves. Maybe where they're both willing to stay in the relationship for the money and the status and the image, because neither one of them wants to take action in truth and love, and they both like to live more from their mind than their heart. And I think with it being in shadowy energy, it's just that it's not really going to be a relationship based on love. And I think it'll cause them a lot of inner conflict because they have their loving nature within them. It exists whether they ignore it or not. And their more creative, inspired, passionate nature might not be willing to engage in this. It's like, you can do it, but we're not working with you. And you're going to have to do it just using your things of the world and see how far that gets you in a relationship without your more creative, inspired, passionate, loving nature involved. You know? If we know that we're not acting with character and integrity, or we're not really in it for love, sometimes our body doesn't cooperate, even though our mind wants to do that way. our body doesn't quite respond. So some people might have a problem with their body responding and going along with the program because their body knows the truth that this is not just and fair or right. So they can think they're the boss all they want, but God created their body, and their body might not go along with the plan. So there you go, Scorpio. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.